Hi friends, I'm Jody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you guys are here with me. I'm really enjoying this and I'm really enjoying just kind of doing my own thing with you guys. A couple things that are coming up. So this weekend I'm going to be making these little like a cake ball type thing, and we're going to do that on camera. And I think it should be fun, and it's a pretty simple recipe, and I think it would be something that's very kid friendly because it's a no bake recipe. It has cream cheese in it and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be really good, and I'm going to be following a gluten-free recipe, so any of you who follow a gluten-free diet or have celiacs like my stepson does, maybe this will be one that you're going to want to see or share with somebody. So I'm just giving you a heads up that it should be sometime this weekend, probably Sunday, when I think I'll have more time Sunday. I have a birthday party to go to on Saturday for my nephew. So anyway, with that, we're going to design something today, and I got some really pretty stuff from Sam's live sale a couple weeks ago. And it's kind of past beach weather, but if you live in the South, like it's never past beach weather, right? I don't know. So we're gonna do a fun beachy bracelet, and I have the most beautiful focal that we're gonna use for our bracelet. And I'll be right back and I'll show you. Hey everyone, I got kind of a little hot mess going on over here, but let me just show you some of the things I have. So I have this beautiful sunstone freeform nugget slices. They're 11 to 13 millimeters, so kind of a bigger, chunkier bead. Got those from a Sam's live sale a couple weeks ago. If you guys don't go to Sam's live sales, please go to samsbeadshop.com and sign up to be on those, to go to those live shows. Get the app because you can do the live show right from your phone on the app if you want to. But they have some great deals. So like, these sunstone beads were $9.50. So, I mean, that's pretty good for a nice quality sunstone. And I really loved the slices and just how the nuggets were free form. I thought they were so cool. And then the next thing I got from Sam's Bead Shop, so this is New Jade, which is serpentine, and it's a seahorse, and it's drilled through here. So it's not like you have to hang it. You can if you want as like a pendant, but I'm using it as like a little bracelet bar today. So that's what we're going to do with it, or it's going to be on our bracelets at some point somewhere if I do like something that's kind of like offset or whatever, but we'll see about that. But this little guy was only $4.95, and he is just beautiful. That lovely, lovely light green, just absolutely gorgeous. And these Amazonite cubes, I think they look really nice. And I got these on Temu. And I'll share the link with you for these, you guys, because I think these were probably one of the nicest gemstones I've gotten on Temu. And they're those nice cubes. There's a lot of the blues in here, which we're going to kind of pick through and decide what we want to use. My charms came from my good friend Pamela. She had sent me some charms, and I picked a couple that have patina on it and one that didn't, so I can kind of like just put those on there. I have a clasp. I have some little spacers that look like little knots, so I thought, well, that's kind of nautical right there, like little knots, the rope knots. And I have my jump rings, I have my bead stringing wire, my wire guardians, my crimp tubes, and I got some crimp covers because I am going to do a whole episode on crimping and different things like that, but I wanted to share with you guys what I'm using here. So these came from Temu as well. They came in this big set of like all these different spacers. You have some like with larger holes, but just a whole bunch of spacers. And I think it was like around $8 or something, but it was a really good deal. So I'll link that as well so you guys can see that. The live sale stuff, I mean, you can try to go to Sam's Bead Shop and look for it, but I can guarantee you I probably won't have a link for it because they're usually selling what they have left over. So that won't really work. I'm also going to link, so for crimp tubes and crimp beads, I buy Beadalon or Beadsmith, but mostly it's Beadalon. and I get them on Amazon. They're not very expensive and they're quicker to ship that way. So I'll link those for you. As far as crimp covers, I just get them from wherever, you know. Sorry, I had a sneeze coming on. And the only thing you really want to do is if you're using a number 2 crimp tube, you want to use a number 2 crimp cover. Anything too small won't fit around it. Anything too big will be, it'll probably like be misshapen when you try to close it because it's too big. Wire guardians, you know, for the longest time, I had no idea there was even a size. But I just get whatever, you guys, as far as that goes. I know that sounds terrible, but I mean, I get them from Bead Box Bargains. I get them wherever. If I'm at Hobby Lobby, in their little metal section, they have them. I've ordered them on Amazon. I just get them wherever. It depends on if I need them now, in 2 days, or in a week. That's that tells you right there, like how I order things. All right, so this is what we have, and we're gonna just do a really cute little bracelet here. So let's go ahead and cut some of these off. And we're gonna do a stringing bracelet with a couple little dangles. Just your basic stringing bracelet. The only reason why I'm doing this one is because of what we're using, because I think it's, you know, so fun. And I just want to show you there are some other options out there if you're looking to do you know, bracelets using different shapes and stuff like that. So I'm a big fan of things that are different shaped because I love the dimension and the texture that it gives. And I also love teaming up, like, you know, small things with large things, and just I love doing that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do here. Let me go ahead and cut this one open. And I just want to kind of pick out mostly like the more bluish ones, because we have a lot of the brownish tones in the sunstone. So I want to kind of skip those and kind of go for the ones that are more of this nice icy blue. It can have some of the other colors in it too, but I really want to try to concentrate on that blue color because it's going to go perfect with everything else. And let's just pull some of these out. Okay, that should be plenty. And then we'll just move all the rest of these aside in case we need more. Probably won't, but just in case. So I use all kinds of beading wire. I just happen to always have Beadalon in my cart on Amazon, and it's really inexpensive on there. I'm using 7-strand. 7-strand is, I never have a problem with 7-strand. So it's good flexibility. It's very durable. But there is a difference. So 19-strand is a little more, you get like a different type of like hanging from it. Like, you know what I mean? Like how a necklace would drape. The draping is different than if you were to use a 7. And then a 49 is very, very different. So it may drape a little bit softer, maybe a little bit more like flowy, where your 7-strand is going to be a little stiffer. But I can tell you that I don't really notice a difference. I know a lot of people swear by it, and that's good. I mean, I'm glad, but I don't think that you have to buy different beading wire for different things. So I've never had a problem with anything breaking. The only thing I've had a problem with is like, you know, like if I had a crimp tube failure because I didn't crimp it properly, or if I didn't have a jump ring closed all the way and I thought I did. And those are my problems that I've had, and those are definitely operator issues, not the quality of your product. So don't be afraid to use beading wire from all over. I even have beading wire that I got from Panda Haul, and it's fantastic. I have beading wire from Curated Bead Boxes, and it's great. I don't have a problem with any of it. So it's going to be just whatever you're happiest with. All right, sorry, I'm back. My husband needed something from me. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to not do an asymmetrical, but we are going to put this guy right in the middle. We're just going to make your basic bracelet here. And oh, he's so cute, you guys. Look at how cute he is. He's just so adorable. Oh my goodness. Some really good carving on him too. He just looks so good. And then let's follow it up with like a little spacer on either side of him. Okay, and then we can do one of our little Amazonite squares, our cubes. And then let's go right into these beads. And I want to use like kind of like a variance of like shapes and colors. So we'll do this one here, and let's just do, I wonder if we should do a spacer there too, because sometimes when you put square and square together, it doesn't like bend right on your wrist. So maybe if we put a spacer, that'll probably be better. And then we're gonna need more spacers out. I didn't pull enough out. And then we can do another one. Let's maybe do like a little bit different of a shape. Let's do this like kind of, oh, let's do another Amazonite. So this is going to be a really quick and easy bracelet. And, you know, these are definitely things that you can, you know, swap out from your stash with. So like if you don't have the same things I do, you can still do this bracelet with the different focals and things that you have in your stash. Otherwise, you know, you can, Etsy usually has a lot of great things like this. You guys, I shop a lot on Etsy. They have a lot of things. So if you get your Etsy app or open it up on your computer and you search for, look for like seahorse bead, and just kind of go through. And if you find a shop that you like, mark it as one of your favorites, because chances are you're going to want to go back to that shop again. And if you're anything like me, you're not going to remember that shop's name. So, but yeah, just kind of watch for that. And like I said, they usually have really great pricing as well, these individual people. And plus you're supporting people like yourself, okay? So we're all in this for like our own reasons. Some of us have a small business. Some of us just do it for a hobby and for gifts, which is great too. But those people are trying to, you know, live their lives, and this is their job. And it's really nice to support small businesses like that. There's there's a few that I buy from periodically. I go back and check to see what's new. And if you actually set them as one of your favorites, you'll get like a notification, like check out what's new at so-and-so shop, because, you know, it's one of your favorites. So yeah, that's a really cool thing that they do. All right, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna finish the rest of this with Amazonite and our spacers. And I'm sorry, I did not tell you how much I used here. I am not scientific when it comes to this stuff. Some of you guys have bead boards that have like a bracelet that's cut out, and that probably works out perfectly for you. I have one too, but I still get confused by it. So I go by my wrist if it's for me. If it's not for me, I do ask that somebody submits their wrist measurement. How big around is your wrist? So just to kind of give you an idea, I always cut off more than what I need until I don't, and then I'm really having regrets that I didn't. So I have here just over 11.5 inches, and I'm definitely not going to need that much. I have a 6.5 inch wrist around, But I don't always like my bracelets to fit super tight. As you can see, like I have these two bracelets on here and I have them stacked and they're above my watch. And that's where I like to wear on my left hand. I'll wear them on my right hand if I'm not going to work, because this is my mouse hand and it bothers me because it's like laying on the desk and it's making noise and it's pressing against my wrist and it's bothering me. So I do this when I go to work. If I'm just going out and about, I will definitely put it on my right hand. But so I do like mine a little bit baggier and looser. So anyway, it really depends on what you like and everything. So let's take a look and see if this is the right size for me. And now keep in mind that you're gonna have a clasp. So I have probably way too many beads on here. I can probably back this up just a little bit. Let's do this, take off that much. And because this is gonna take up some room and we have a bigger jump ring that we're gonna be using on the one side to hang all of our charms. So this is probably gonna be just about perfect, okay? So let's go ahead and crimp one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it directly on here. So we're going to put our crimp tube on. We're going to put our wire guardian on. And then just bend that straight over top the wire guardian, that wire, and put it through the next little slot. Now, if you're using a jump ring, you can just close it off completely right here. You can crimp it down and call it good. But I am putting mine on this part of my toggle. So I'm just gonna slip that through here, unless of course it doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, then we'll use a jump ring. Sometimes the wire guardians are too wide to go through, but we'll see. Nope, it's actually perfect. So good deal. So now we can put our little, our little tail through that crimp bead or crimp tube, whatever you're using. And I do like to take my wire guardians and just kind of squeeze them together a little bit and makes them skinnier and it looks a little more appealing. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys in just a little bit closer. There we go. All right, so I have my crimp tube on, just like this, okay? Can you see it right here? It's right there. And I just have it scooted up towards my wire guardian, leaving about a maybe thumbnail and a half width there. I'm using my crimping pliers. My crimping pliers have the 3 notches. Have no idea what brand these are. They were probably something I picked up at Michael's or Joann's. I have no idea. But any of these will work. You just want to make sure they have all the little notches. And you go in your very last notch, the one closest to your hand, and you just line it up and you just squish it down, making sure that your wires are not getting crossed, okay? So then what you end up with is like a macaroni shaped crimp. And you're not done yet because you don't want it like that. You want to take your crimp, put it in sideways so you can close up that like gap there, your little ditch you made. And you're going to put it in the very front one and you're just going to close it up. And it might take a squeeze or two, but then you should have a nicely folded over crimp. See, can you see that? It gets blurry, doesn't know how to focus, I'm sorry. Now you can leave it just like that and that's fine. The one thing I know though with these larger holes, I'm gonna want to do a crimp cover because otherwise this will just disappear in there and the integrity of my bracelet will be like lost. So I'm gonna put my crimp cover over top of my crimp tube and we're gonna make sure that's like snapped in there. Like you should feel it like pop in there. Like if it's gonna be in there all the way. And it might take a minute for you to get it in there correctly. So just be patient with yourself and be patient with the materials because it can be frustrating. I know that like I've had issues with crimp covers before to where I was actually like sweating and I was so frustrated that I just wanted to cry. All right, there we go. It's snapped in there. Sometimes you just gotta turn it a little bit. And now this is sitting directly inside of that crimp cover. I know it's really hard to see, you guys, I'm so sorry, but my crimp tube is right inside there. And then I usually use these to get it started because you can actually grip it so much better if you just use the front of your crimping pliers and just slowly close it, okay? And then turn it on its side and squeeze it gently and slowly. If you go too fast, you'll end up twisting it and it will be all misshapen and really weird, and you'll be very disappointed in your crimp cover. So now it just looks like a little bead, okay? So that's that. And now I can run these beads up over my tail, and my spacer is not gonna go through my crimp, not gonna go over my crimp tube, okay? So that's how that's gonna work. All right, so now we're gonna do the other side, but we're gonna close it off completely because I want to use a larger jump ring in between my cord and my other half of my toggle, so I have something to hang my little charms off of. All right, so we're going to put our crimp tube on, and we're not gonna let it slide all the way down because it'll just disappear. We're gonna just hang on to it with our hand, put our wire guardian on, and do the same steps on this side. Okay, just run that through. And then you can run it right directly through your crimp tube. Now this is where it could get tricky. You do want to make sure that your strands are not crossed. Okay, so the best way you can do that is just flatten it out and just look at it really carefully. If your strands are crossed, it could prevent your crimp from doing a proper job crimping, and you don't want that because then your crimp could like break. It could ruin your wire, and then your wire will break. So you just want to be really careful that it's not going to cause any issues. And now that since we're using a cover, we're going to leave a little bit of a space here because it's going to take up some room. It's not going to take up a lot of room, but it's going to take up some room. So then go in here with your pliers and crimp it, and then turn it on its side and crimp it again, and just make sure. You might have to do it, like I said, a couple little squishes, but then it should be good. And then I'm just gonna trim off some of this. I'm gonna run it through a couple of beads and trim off some of our strand. Just gonna run it through a couple, maybe. Okay, there we go, and just pull it through. There we go, and then we can trim that right off. And then let's put our crimp cover on. So again, have a number 2 crimp tube and a number 2 crimp cover. That one went on a lot easier. All right, so let's go ahead and close that up. Just gonna take our time, whoop, and just try to get a good grip on it and just close it. Your wire could also get caught in there and make it like kind of kinked, and you don't want that either. So this is one way to crimp and cover your crimps. There's other options too out there. I will make sure I go over those thoroughly with you guys. I'll do another option, my next piece that I make. Okay, so now we got that one, and that looks good. Let's move some of the stuff off to the side so it's not so distracting. All right, so we only need one of these. So I'm going to get my pliers out. Oh, here's my bent nose pliers. So I had lost my bent nose pliers the other day and I couldn't find them anywhere. And then I remembered, oh, I was making something when I was on the couch and it fell through. Well, I only have one pair of bent nose pliers, and I just remembered that today. And I suffered through with 2 pairs of regular chain nose pliers last night when I did a video for Wendy's Crafting Friends, and it was rough, let me tell you. I had to open and close so many jump rings. Oh, it wasn't for Wendy's Craft. Oh yeah, it was for Wendy's Crafting Friends. Yeah, sorry. I was kind of forgetting what I was doing. All right, so here's our bracelet. And it's super cute, super beachy, super fun. Absolutely love it. This would be perfect for all your ocean lovers out there. And now we're going to hang these little charms. And we're just going to hang them directly on there. They're going to kind of shimmy and shake, but I think they are absolutely perfect and they're going to be a lot of fun. There we go. Make sure I have that on the right side. Okay. I've done it so many times. I put a charm on and it was not the right side to put the charm on. And I'm like, well, that's a bummer. At least jump rings are easy to take on and off. But still, when you're feeling all confident, like you just did a really great thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, that's not right. Okay. All right, guys, so we have our super sweet and beachy seahorse and shell and starfish bracelet. And it's really, really cute. I'm going to try it on for you real quick, and you can see it on a person. Having trouble with the toggle. There we go. All right, so here's the top of our bracelet. We got our cute little seahorse there. There's our sunstone and our amazonite and our little spacers, and then on the bottom we have our toggle and our cute little dangles. So I hope you guys really like this bracelet. I know it was like a super easy one, but I really wanted to show you the materials I was using, and I wanted to show you the crimping and covering the crimp. I hope you guys like this, and if you do, give it a like, share it with a friend who you think would love this bracelet. And again, thank you so much for all the continued support you guys are giving me. I love the comments. I love it all. Thank you so much for doing all this. I am so happy that you guys are here with me to experience this funness. I wouldn't want to share it with anybody else. Thank you guys. I love you all. Have a great night. Bye.